Welcome to another episode of Israel HVAC Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Israel HVAC Podcast. I'm John Israel from Israel HVAC on YouTube. Thank you for tuning into this episode. In this episode, I want to talk about what's going on with Johnson Controls, aka York, Luxair, Coleman, Evcon. So I got a phone call from a customer a few days ago that said, "Hey John, what's going on with this letter that I got from Johnson Controls about a class action lawsuit for my particular model number?" And I was like, "Oh my God." So I started reading further into it, and come to find out there's a class action lawsuit against Johnson Controls for microchannel condenser coils and copper tubed aluminum fin evaporator coils. Customers are they're getting Johnson. It looks like Johnson Controls is paying them, is going to reimburse them for the repairs that they had done to their system. So basically what it looks like is, even though it was in warranty, if you had a repair done, you were charged labor by the contractor. I don't know if they're going to reimburse the whole thing or just some of it. But it's very interesting. She called me, and then over the course of a week, I think I had 4 or 5 more call me and ask the same question. So it just goes to show you how bad things got with York, but with microchannel. You know, some people on YouTube say, well, I haven't had this issue and this and that and another. I mean, you've seen the videos of the leaks. I mean, I'm not making the stuff up. I mean, obviously it's happening. But this is, I never thought that it would come to this. I've got, customers, some of them are really upset. But I mean, it's not my fault. And some of them do understand. And, it's a good way for them to get their money back, because it's been a nightmare with these coils from York. And so it looks like Johnson Controls, I guess they're trying to do the right thing. I don't know. But I do know that the new equipment that's out today, I do believe the microchannel is still available. But I think you can choose between a micro channel or a tube and fin. Now on heat pump, it's standard copper tube aluminum fin, whether you like it or not. But on straight cool, I think you have the option to choose now between tube and fin and micro channel. Why anybody would choose a micro channel, I don't know. But it is what it is. So, and York has also gone to aluminum evaporators, and I'm thinking, well, it's about time. Should have done it a long time ago. Hell, Lennox is just now making the transfer. York did it about a year, well, probably about 2 years ago they did it. Lennox is still in the transition. The only coils that they have that are aluminum are their cased coils for, furnaces. Their air handlers are still copper. And I can't understand why. I mean, I don't know what the holdup is with Lennox. But I guess I'm kind of getting off topic here, because we're talking about York. Johnson Controls, if you will. That was my big thing. That's why we quit selling York. Because when Johnson Controls took over, Johnson Controls ruined that product. Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, when we were putting in the Stellars, before Johnson Controls got their hands on it, it was good equipment and we never had no trouble. We still have several of them out there that are still running, that we still maintenance. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. But they're pre-Johnson Controls. That's the bad thing about when these big companies buy out heating and air manufacturers. They take something good and they ruin it. You know, at one point, York had the best package unit on the market, whether it be residential or commercial. You know, you've heard Zach say before, they never changed them. I mean, York had the same package unit for years, the same design. Johnson Controls comes in, they redesign everything and ruin a good unit. Same thing with the residential. The Stellar line was stellar, you know, if you will. No issues. You know, very little issues out of those units. Just your basic knick-knack stuff like anything else, but nothing major. But, you know, you look at Trane, it's the same way. Ingersoll Rand bought Trane. Trane's not a bad piece of equipment, but there's nothing special about it. You can definitely see that Trane is starting to spend less money than they ever have. You know, they're making their equipment cheaper. I've seen American Standard and Trane equipment with LG compressors. So, I guess that's what happens when big companies take over heat and air manufacturers. But it is what it is. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about this lawsuit that's going on. I'm going to do some more research on it. I haven't done a whole bunch of research. A buddy of mine tagged me in it in the Facebook group. So I want to do some more research on it, do some more reading, see what it's all about and what it entitles. I read a little bit about it. And it's basically, it was a bunch of model numbers. Like if you have this model number, if your unit starts with this model number, and so on and so forth, you're entitled to some kind of claim or something like that. So, you know, it like I said, I'm not really sure what it's all about. I need to dig a little deeper into it, which I will do, and then maybe we'll update y'all on another podcast. But I thought that would be interesting. I thought you guys would like to hear what was going on with Johnson Controls. But anyway, thank y'all for listening, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Check out Zach Ciota's Working Joe's podcast on WorkingJoesRoundtable.com and iTunes. Zach is a HVAC company owner and been a technician for over 20 years. Come along as he shares his experience on his podcast.